You know, in every great saga, there's always that one moment, that single point where destiny is forged in fire, and there's just no going back. Well, today we are diving headfirst into one of those moments. It's about a promise made under an open sky that would literally echo through eternity, shaping nations, defining a people, and kicking off a story of both profound blessing and, yeah, devastating sorrow.
So let's set the scene. Everything is still and sacred. It's a time of celebration, the feast of first fruits. You can just picture it, offerings on the altar, smoke rising gently into the warm air, the smell of frankincense. It's a moment of total ritual peace. But this very ordinary day is about to be completely shattered.
And at the center of it all, a man named Abram. He's 99 years old. I mean, he's lived a whole life already, full of journeys, full of trials. He probably thinks his story is winding down. He has no idea it's barely even begun, because history is holding its breath for an encounter that's about to rewrite everything.
And then, bam, a voice, a presence. It speaks with just absolute authority. And this isn't a negotiation, right? It's a straight-up declaration. The Almighty God appears and lays down the foundation for a pact that's going to defy the laws of nature and time. The terms seem simple, but they're impossibly huge. Walk with me, and I will make you countless.
I mean, what else do you do? In the face of that kind of overwhelming power, that kind of world-altering presence, Abram just hits the deck. This isn't just a sign of respect, it's the total surrender of a mortal before the divine. You can just feel the air get heavy with the gravity of what's happening. A covenant is being forged.
And right away, we get the first sign of this new reality. God declares, your name will no longer be Abram. Your name will be Abraham. Now, this is way more than just a name change. Think of it like a massive power-up in a story. It's a fundamental shift in his identity. He goes from Abram, exalted father, to Abraham, father of many nations. His very being is being reshaped to fit a destiny he can't even begin to wrap his head around.
And the scope of this destiny is just staggering. This isn't about one little family. We're talking about the birth of nations. Kings, literal kings, will trace their lineage back to this very moment. The land he's just wandering through as a foreigner, it's going to become his descendants' eternal home. But the most important part, the real core of it all, is that final promise. I will be their God. This is a bond designed to last forever.
Okay, but a promise this huge needs a sign, right? Something permanent, something undeniable. And this sign isn't going to be written on a stone tablet. Oh no, it's going to be written in the flesh itself. This covenant won't just be a memory, it's going to be a physical reality, a constant reminder of the deal that was made. An unbreakable bond comes with an unbreakable price.
The instructions are absolute, no wiggle room. Every single male, from this point until the end of time, whether they're born into the family or bought as a servant, must bear this sign. It is not optional. It is the physical seal of this everlasting covenant. And the warning is severe. If you refuse the sign, you break the pact. And if you break the pact, you're cut off from your people, cast out from this incredible destiny.
But Abraham isn't the only one getting a massive identity upgrade here. God turns his attention to Abram's wife, Sarai. You are no longer to call her Sarai. Her name will be Sarah. Just like with her husband, her name is being elevated. It goes from meaning my princess to just princess, a title of nobility for the entire world, not just for her own household.
And this just perfectly spells out her new role. The promise isn't just for Abraham. It flows directly through Sarah. She will be the mother of nations. Kings will come from her. The woman who's been barren her whole life is about to become the matriarch of a royal line. It's through her that the impossible son of promise will finally be born, making this whole covenant a living, breathing reality.
But let's just pause and remember the facts on the ground for a second. Abraham is almost 100 years old. He has waited his entire life for an heir from his wife, who herself is 90. Decades and decades of waiting and hoping have gone by. And now, at the very edge of life, this absolutely impossible promise is just dropped on them. And Abraham's reaction? It's so perfectly, wonderfully human. He falls down again, but this time, he laughs. And it's not a laugh of mockery, but of sheer, staggering disbelief. You know that feeling when something is so wild, so far beyond what you thought was possible, that you just have to laugh? That's what's happening. A 100-year-old father, a 90-year-old mother, I mean, it's just absurd.
So his mind immediately snaps to what's real, to the son he already has, Ishmael. his firstborn. In this overwhelming moment, his father's heart just cries out for the son he knows and loves. He pleads with God, please just let the blessing be for him. Let Ishmael be the one.
But God's plan is incredibly specific, and the distinction is made with piercing clarity. Now look, Ishmael is not going to be forgotten. Not at all. He will be immensely blessed. He'll be fruitful. He'll father 12 princes. He'll become a great nation. But, and this is the crucial point, the everlasting covenant, the central promise, the chosen lineage, that belongs to Isaac, the son who isn't even born yet. So you have 2 sons, 2 amazing destinies, but only 1 covenant lot.
And with that, the conversation is over. The decision is final. The divine presence withdraws, leaving Abraham there on the ground. The sound of his own laughter is probably still echoing in his mind, and now he's faced with the immense weight of both a command and a promise that defy all human reason.
So what does Abraham do? Does he second-guess it? Does he hesitate? Nope. The text is emphatic about this, that same day. His disbelief totally gives way to immediate, radical obedience. He doesn't waste a second. The covenant was commanded and it is going to be sealed, right now. So he gathers his entire household, he himself submits to the command, his son Ishmael, who's 13 at the time, is included, every male born in his house, every servant bought with his money, every single one is brought into the fold. In just one day, an entire community is physically marked, transformed, and bound forever to this brand new covenant identity. And this physical act, it cements an eternal principle, one that's described as being recorded on heavenly tablets. See, this isn't just some temporary rule for one guy. It's a fundamental law woven right into the fabric of this new people, with absolutely no room for negotiation and no allowance for delay. And here's something that's really crucial to get: the unique relationship this whole thing establishes. The source material explains that while other nations might have, angelic spirits set over them, this chosen line, Israel, is different. God doesn't appoint an intermediary. He alone is their ruler. This direct line raises the stakes immensely. It's a position of incredible privilege, for sure, but also of incredible responsibility.
But a shadow hangs over this incredible promise. A pretty somber prophecy is given. It says that future generations, they won't stay faithful. They're going to forget this sign. They will neglect the covenant, and by doing that, they'll provoke divine anger. And the consequence for breaking this foundational pact is going to be severe: judgment and being removed from the very land that was promised. And yet, even in all that failure, the covenant with Isaac's line will somehow endure.
The language used here is really stark. By abandoning the sign, they are essentially choosing to erase what makes them distinct, to make themselves just like any other nation. And for this specific, eternal offense, this willful breaking of the foundational covenant that's written in their very flesh, the judgment will be absolute. And that's where this leaves us. A covenant is sealed in a single, transformative day. A destiny is forged. But this promise is a double-edged sword, isn't it? It carries within it the potential for blessing beyond your wildest dreams, but also the certainty of future sorrow. It's a pact that demands everything, and it really leaves us to wonder, what is the true cost of being chosen?